My elderly neighbor called the police 17 times in 3 months about intruders, so I finally called Adult Protective Services. Mrs. Harrison moved into the house next door 6 months ago. Sweet woman, baked cookies, waved from her porch. Then the calls started. First one was at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. I woke up to flashing lights, 2 patrol cars. Mrs. Harrison stood on her lawn in a bathrobe, pointing at her bushes and saying someone was hiding there. The officers searched. Nothing. They left after 20 minutes. I went back to bed thinking it was a one-time thing. Maybe she had a nightmare. She was 73, lived alone, probably just scared. But then it happened again 4 days later. Same thing. 2:47 a.m. Police, bushes, nothing. By the third time, I started getting annoyed. The lights kept waking me up. My dog wouldn't stop barking. I had work in the morning. The fourth time, I walked over while the officers were still there. Mrs. Harrison, maybe you're just hearing animals. Raccoons get into everything around here. She grabbed my arm. Her grip was surprisingly strong. No, someone's watching. I see him. Who? A man in a gray jacket. He stands by those bushes and stares at your house. My house, not hers. That's when I realized she wasn't just confused. She was paranoid, probably early dementia. The officer gave me a look that said he agreed. Week 3, she called again. The officer knocked on my door this time. Young guy. Looked exhausted. Your neighbor keeps calling about intruders. We've checked 17 times now. There's never anyone there. I know. I'm sorry. I think she might need help. Can you talk to her family? She doesn't have any. She told me her son died 10 years ago. He sighed. Wrote something in his notebook. We can't keep responding to false calls. If this continues, we'll have to take action. I felt bad for her, but I also felt bad for these officers wasting their time. That night, I researched assisted living facilities, found 3 good ones within 20 minutes, printed out the brochures, made notes about which one had the best reviews. I even called one to ask about memory care units. I'd bring everything over tomorrow. Maybe suggest she talk to her doctor about cognitive testing. The next morning, a detective showed up at my door. Not a patrol officer, a detective. Plain clothes, badge on his belt. My stomach dropped because detectives don't show up for nothing. Are you the resident of this address? Yes. What's going on? Can I come in? We sat at my kitchen table. He pulled out a laptop and turned it toward me. Your neighbor has been calling us about a man in her bushes. We finally set up a hidden camera last week to prove to her there's nobody there. He clicked play. The footage showed Mrs. Harrison's front yard. Timestamp 2:14 a.m. I watched the empty bushes for 10 seconds, then movement. A man stepped out from behind the shrubs. Gray jacket, baseball cap pulled low. He stood there for 3 minutes just staring directly at my bedroom window. My throat tightened. I couldn't breathe. Keep watching. The man walked to my driveway. Tried my car door. Locked. He walked to my side gate. Tried that too. Also locked. Then he walked back to the bushes and disappeared. This is from 6 days ago. The detective pulled up another video. Same man, same bushes. This time he had something in his hand. The detective zoomed in. A knife. How many times? My voice barely worked. 19 times over 3 months. Always between 2 and 4 a.m. Your neighbor was the only person who noticed. They arrested him that afternoon. His name was Kyle Brennan. He'd been fired from the pest control company I'd used last year. Had my address, my schedule, photos of me on his phone, over 600, maps of my house layout, a timeline of when I left for work each morning. Mrs. Harrison was on her porch when they put him in the police car. I walked over and she handed me a cookie. Chocolate chip, still warm. Told you someone was in those bushes.